Veterans Park in Marshfield is currently undergoing extensive renovations, including an ecological restoration. Committees and organizations involved with the project sat down with MCM to talk about the renovations and what they will bring to the town.
What's happening here is the ecological restoration, as I said, of a segment or section of the South River, which you can see behind me. There used to be a dam over by that white building. That dam has been removed, and in its place you can see various weirs, about 5 weirs. Those weirs create riffles and pools for migratory fish to migrate up the South River, where they have been unable to do so for the past 400 years. So the idea was to remove the dam, allow for greater fish migration by anadromous fish, and enhance the park in the process, because the two projects are very closely intertwined. The people involved in the project involve the North and South Rivers Watershed Association, the Marshfield Conservation Commission, the Marshfield Department of Public Works, the National Fishery and Wildlife Foundation, and a Community Preservation Commission, which is also a town body. The park has been established since 1940, and it's been pretty much a place where people can go and honor the veterans. But over time, like anything else, it needs some care and maintenance and some rehabilitation. And this project will provide that type of improvements to the park. But the park is very heavily used. It's reserved a lot for weddings and receptions of various types. It's a very scenic park, and people like to use it because of its relationship to the river. So it was designed to basically honor the veterans, male veterans, female veterans, and then all veterans. The heart-shaped lagoon that is being rehabilitated is designed to honor the service of all veterans from the town. The new fountain will be placed in the lagoon. That fountain is specifically designed to honor the female veterans that have served from the town of Marshfield. And the water wheel, which will be replaced, which was an iconic element of the park, that's to honor the male veterans. That is going to be completely rebuilt by the gentleman who built it in the first place.
Well, our role has been really to bring the parties together, to convene people around and to hopefully build support for the project. We have been involved since about 2012. We started looking and have been monitoring for fish at this site for some time with citizen scientists, and noticed that clearly the fish passage was not working well. And so we started to talk to the town of Marshfield, and in particular the veterans who, are really stewards of that park, to talk to them about ways that we could improve the situation. And so our role has really been to kind of we were a bit of an instigator, but we are also kind of a convener to bring together partners, to bring together resources, financial resources, to provide education about the reasons for why we would want to remove a dam, and just work with the town and the veterans to figure out how we could both serve their needs as well as the fisheries and the rivers, ecological needs.
So the main role of the Conservation Commission is to permit the projects and overall project management. So working with the engineers, the consultants, the DPW, the Veterans Park caretaker, and the commission itself to make sure that the project runs smoothly and on budget.
All the work is being done because there was a desire by the Watershed Association and the town of Marshfield to remove the dam to enhance fish passage and fish migration up the South River. We could not do that, remove that dam, without involving the improvements to the Veterans Park. Then there are a bunch of other improvements that are going to be made in terms of allowing people to have access up to the river. You can see the stone wall. That's a new peninsula that did not exist before. People will be able to access that peninsula and close to the river, because we're going to put in 2 ADA compliant bridges to allow people to come in to the site. We have a series of monitoring elements that will be used to monitor the water levels. And the redesign of the park is oriented toward being able to control water levels in the park, in the lagoon, through the water wheel, and in the river.
Prior to this, we had our river restoration work completed in January. So in January, the dam at Veterans Park came down and a temporary bypass was created through the park in order to allow for fish passage during the spring migration season. That bypass was incredibly successful. We saw fish get up the South River and reach sections of the river they haven't reached in over 300 years. The fish made it all the way up to the next barrier on the river, which is Chandler Pond Dam. Over the summer, that bypass was filled in and the river itself was reconnected. And we have a new series of riffles and pools that will significantly increase fish passage through this stretch of the river.
We're anticipating that 95% of this project will be finished by the end of November. The other 5%, it may in fact be 100%, but we have to come back in the spring to go through a punch list of things that have gone wrong or developed during the winter, and we also have to finalize the landscaping on this part of the river where we sit now, and then there's going to be some more landscaping on across the river on the actual park site. All that has to be checked in the spring to make sure it survived the winter.
Something we hope to achieve has already been achieved, and that is the fish run. This spring, herring were streaming up that river. And it's pretty interesting because that's been blocked for almost 400 years. But the fish still knew how to go and where to go. So we are extremely happy about that. Well, I hope it will bring more usage to the park. It's going to be lovely when this work is done. I hope it'll bring visitors to Veterans Park, the South River Park, and going forward, we may have a new piece of that linkage. And I also hope it will ultimately result in additional dams being removed to restore even a longer portion of the South River.
We think that by having people actually see the fish going up, that it will help people to understand the value that these projects can have. And we hope that it will diminish the maintenance burden to some degree. But our hope is that, particularly because of its visibility in the community, that people will really become more engaged with this kind of effort, and we can use it as an opportunity to share what we understand about the river with them.